the Fanvestor Report, a weekly podcast covering the business of celebrity that fans want in on. I'm your host, Jezlan Moyet, a fellow fan and investor. The red carpet was as hot as ever in the south of France, all the way to the West Coast, where we celebrated the magic of Hollywood and the French Riviera live from the legendary Beverly Hills Hotel last week and honored the Fanvestor guests and, of course, Lifetime Achievement Award winners Eric Roberts and the COO of Fanvestor, Larry Namer. Fans, if you have a serious case of FOMO and want the insider on the Cannes Film Fest, well, we have an interview with award-winning producer and actor Vincent De Paul later in the show. But first, let's get the latest on supermodel and mogul Paris Hilton. She's got a net worth of approximately $300 million, and Paris is now pairing up with Netflix to create a cooking series known as Cooking with Paris. It was originally inspired by her homemade lasagna video on YouTube that went viral in January 2020 with over 5 million views. The show itself will have a more traditional cooking show aspect that will feature the business mogul with her famous friends. The show will launch on August 4th and stream globally on Netflix. Fans of fashion, this just in. British fashion designer Phoebe Philo is launching her own brand. She was the creative director of the French fashion house Chloe from 2001 to 2006, and then Celine from 2008 to 2017. The brand itself will be backed by LVMH, which is already valued at $317.6 billion. And that's before fans of Phoebe get in on it. Phoebe Philo's fashion brand's date is still unclear, but there will be more info in January 2022. Fans can expect various clothing and accessory products, including quality and design, and of course, some serious celeb collabs. Beauty fans, get ready to splurge on another haul. American actress, musician, and singer Jennifer Lopez, who already has an approximate net worth of $400 million, has launched her own beauty line, JLo Beauty. Why? Well, the global cosmetics industry is expected to reach $463.5 billion by 2027, according to Allied Market Research, and other like-minded celebs like Kylie and Gaga have already cashed in on it. JLo Beauty is a joint venture between Guthy-Renker Enterprises LLC and BRXGR LLC. The brand includes various products from skincare to cosmetics available on the JLo Beauty website, as well as Sephora and Amazon. The superstar is sharing what she has learned along the way to look and feel her best. JLo assures her fans with her name on it, it's going to be something that really works. Fans are ready for it. Cue all the emojis. Sports fans are now able to bet on it in Florida. DraftKings, with an approximate net worth of $1.5 billion, and FanDuel, with an approximate net worth of $1 billion, each contributed $10 million, making a total of a $20 million investment to the Political Committee of Florida Education Champions to make betting legal in Florida. This could potentially unravel a $2.5 billion deal struck by the governor and the Seminole Tribe of Florida. The Seminoles have pledged to provide $2.5 billion in payments over 5 years to the states. Fans will have the ability to place sports bets using apps on their phones, while Seminoles hosting the activity of sports betting on tribal lands will use computers. Award-winning actor and producer Vincent De Paul will be joining us in today's interview. Not only a member of the Producers Guild of America and known as the winner of the Best Actor Award for his performance in Silver Case and The Bay with a record number of Emmys, you've probably seen him in several of your favorite films and television shows. And now he is back from the south of France, where he was the host of the Forbes ISuccess Awards at the 2021 Cannes Film Festival. Fans, keep it here for our one-on-one interview with Vincent De Paul. Hey fans, welcome back to the Fanvestor Report. I'm your host, Jezlan Moyet, and I am so excited to welcome Vincent De Paul with us today. Hey Vincent!
Hey there, how have you been?
It is so good to see you again. I know you have been all over the world. It's like playing the, where is Waldo? Where is Vincent De Paul now?
Oh my gosh, well, it was a beautiful Marché du Film Cannes Film Festival and Market this year. It's resuming. Last year, there was no Cannes Film Festival, and it was very sad. This year, they were very COVID compliant, and filmmakers from around the world traveled to Nice and then Nice to Cannes to celebrate cinema. And so I was really happy because it feels like we're getting back to a little bit more of normalcy, and this is a great thing.
I think the French Riviera is one of those magical places on earth. And there's something even more magic about when Hollywood descends on it. So tell us about your personal experience. Was this your first time there, your second, your fourth?
Uh, so I think this is Cannes Film Festival number 14 or 15. Some
What?
of the I know I'm very blessed and fortunate that each year I get invited back, and then they send you this kind of credential where you're someone that has the ability to see the world premiere of films that have been programmed at Cannes Film Festival. The years past that I was in the film, the Academy Award winning movie The Artist that premiered at Cannes with Jean Dujardin, and then also I was in a film years later that was at Cannes in the Cannes film market. And this past year, the movies that were being sold in the Marché and the Cannes film market with PureFlix Pinnacle Peak was Finding Love in Quarantine, which was Emmy nominated, Level in the Rock, directed by Matt Shapira, starring Golden Globe nominee Stephen Bauer of Ray Donovan, Scarface, so forth, Jeff Fahey, Cara Reed Lorsch, who we love, is in the movie as well. And so that was being sold worldwide at the Cannes film market. So every year when I go back, I'm so happy that some of my films that I've shot in the year prior are being sold in the market.
Ah, congratulations, by the way. I think so few people really understand the power of this film festival and market. You know, you mentioned it earlier, the sales of the film. Can you describe that a little bit to the fans who might not understand? It's more than just a red carpet, it's a business.
Absolutely. So the Cannes Film Market and the Cannes Film Festival run simultaneously at the Palais. The Palais is located right on the La Croisette, which is the main thoroughfare in Cannes. And so consequently, what happens are world premieres of motion pictures, and they are shown in competition at the Cannes Film Festival. At the same time, movies that are made domestically and internationally are sold in the market to everyone. So it's a buyer from, let's say, Spain would like to buy movies for their country. They come to the Cannes Film Festival. They watch the movies that are in competition, but also they need other content. They may need family films. They may need a thriller. They may need a horror film. So then the Cannes Film Market caters to those buyers. Those buyers come from around the world. Also, the element at the Cannes Film Festival are the different pavilions. Each country is represented. You have the American Pavilion, the UK Pavilion, and at those pavilions at the Cannes Film Market, it is a pavilion where they encourage international producers to shoot in their country by giving them incentives. The Italian Film Commission gives you an incentive. If you shoot in Italia, you receive 40% back on your productions. So there's a business of, of filmmaking and the business of producing content that occurs simultaneously at the Cannes Film Festival and in the market.
Well, and there's the business of networking. You know, so many people roll their eyes at the idea of, you know, everyone in Hollywood networking, but it is real because you're connecting with some of the most powerful people in entertainment and creating opportunities for yourself. So, what has been maybe one of those game changing experiences for you there? What was the best handshake deal that you made? Who did you meet?
So I flew JFK to London, Nice, and then I went to Cannes, and then I received a call from Jano and Jano and PR, who we all know from Los Angeles, who's been ever present in doing so many events, and she said, "Vincent, I have a favor to ask. Could you please host the Forbes magazine iSuccess Award ceremony at Villa Cannes?" And I said, "It would be my honor," but I had no idea that that handshake that I made with Jano and almost a decade ago would lead to hosting this amazing, empowering event that I got to meet people from all around the world in so many different disciplines. We honored folks like the gentleman who in Israel helped for trafficking, and he helped all of these young ladies, and he did so many different things, and we gave him an award. Hofik Golan from Fashion TV, the founder of Fashion TV, the hotelier who's helped so many people through the years. All of these are Forbes individuals who have been featured in Forbes magazines. throughout the year, and they were celebrated that evening. And I was honored to be the host of that event, and I got to meet folks that have experiences that I never knew existed, and that was one of the greatest handshakes that I ever made, and that is from a decade ago. So yes, it's a great thing.
Ah, that is an incredible story. First of all, big shout out to Jane Owen PR for being a continuous supporter of us both. And I want to talk about what you were wearing because so many people also kind of roll their eyes when I ask that question to celebrities on the red carpet. What they miss is that's an opportunity for the designer to really gain exposure. What you're wearing really does matter. It sends a great message. And I saw you on Instagram, Vincent. I don't know if you've ever looked better.
Oh, thank you so much. And well, with the ladies, they're always beautiful, and they have different designers from many different places. One of my favorite red carpet looks were, of course, by Luigi Bianchi Mantova. The bow tie from Ike Behar. Ike Behar has done my suits in a few movies. I did the movie Poseidon with Wolfgang Peterson, and Ike Behar did all of our tuxedos. Uh, Josh Lucas. All of our tuxedos were by Ag Behar, so I wore one of those. And then Dolce Gabbana was so gracious to give me this beautiful encrusted crown pendant for my lapel. And Dolce Gabbana, there right on the Croisette, uh, they were so kind to do that. So special thanks to Dolce Gabbana, A Testoni for my shoes. When I walked the red carpet for Tre Panini by Moretti, Bella Hadid and I did the red carpet, and we talked about both working for Gianni Versace. She was wearing a Schiaparelli beautiful gold encrusted necklace that were it looked like her lungs but dipped in gold. That was her necklace, and it was a black beautiful uh, silhouette. It was very asymmetric, very beautiful, and so those photos were around the world. Vincent De Paul and Bella Hadid arrives at the red carpet for the premiere of Tre Panini, and then those images are then populated around the world, and a lot of fashion trends then come from there. It's like, okay, let's wear gold necklaces that look like our lungs. So
I
you
mean,
know,
that
it's
was an incredibly iconic fashion moment, and I was so excited to see you right there beside her, right there in France. The FOMO was real, Vincent. We've taken several red carpet pictures together at the Emmys or various spots around Hollywood, but that moment was absolutely breathtaking.
I know thousands of photographers then populate those images from around the world. And our images are also iconic and classic because it archives history of Hollywood, of the content, of the the Emmys and all the different shows that basically show this is what occurred on this date at this time. These were the Emmy Awards, and you and I were there together. So yeah, so every image that you do take on the red carpet, they're important. So one recommendation I always have is try to be as well groomed as possible and go on the red carpet with a good attitude and just be happy.
You
So that
never know. Yes, the cameras are always flashing.
I
There could be an incredible moment.
they are indeed.
So I want
So
to talk about, your business in entertainment because you do so much more than acting. You're also an incredible producer, an award-winning producer at that. So can you explain to us a little bit about, why you took on that additional role and responsibility?
Certainly. So the first film that I ever worked in was Hairspray, directed by John Waters with Ricky Lake, Sonny Bono, Blondie, Debbie Harry, and that was such a great experience. I'm a native Baltimorean, and I think that I learned from John Waters, who was one of the very early indie filmmakers, about being a director and producer. And so at that time, being a teenager in Baltimore, performing in Hairspray, I was watching what people were doing, what the producers were doing, what the crew was doing, because ultimately I knew that that was going to be my vocation. And so with producing, it was a natural transition as an actor to produce because we know what needs to be done to make sure we make our day, to make sure that, that 12 hours that we have to shoot out our schedule, we do it.
Yeah.
So after acting for many years, I was asked to produce a movie called um, Guacamole My Prada with Tom Arnold, and so I did that movie. And then after that, the producers from that said, "Oh, Vincent was great at producing. He's a problem solver." So then I was asked to do a movie, Silver Case, with Oscar nominee Seymour Cassel, and then directed by Christian Filipella with Eric Roberts, Silver Case. And then one thing led to another, and then I was vetted into the Producers Guild of America. And I feel many of us, the Matt Damons, the Ben Afflecks, the Brad Pitts, that are actors also are very, very good producers. And I feel the investment that we put in producing is so important because we're not just there in front of the camera, delivering dialogue, but we believe in the project. We believe in the work. And this year I got to see Matt Damon at Cannes for Stillwater, which was a co-pro production. It was English and American production and French, where Matt Damon's character goes to France because his daughter is in prison in France, and he falls in love with a French lady. So and it was a perfect formula at Cannes. So it was really great. And that movie, of course, was produced in Oklahoma, in Guthrie, Oklahoma, Stillwater, with Matt Damon. And there's an incentive where you get 40% back if you shoot in Oklahoma. So producing is always about trying to make sure that your content is seen around the world and to make it as efficient as possible.
So speaking of investment, you've made the investment in your role as a producer, right, which makes your investment in that film or in that project even that much greater. But outside of that, what is the best investment you've ever made? That could be, with your finances or in your education, service, time. What is that for you?
So the best investment that I ever have had made is being an observer. So when I am working and I get to be an observer with great producers and great directors like Penny Marshall when I did Writing Cards with Boys with Drew Barrymore, that's an investment because all of a sudden I took time and I invested in watching, not just doing my role and wrapping out and then going home, but sitting back and watching how that is done. The other investment that I love is my education, graduating from Johns Hopkins, where I studied epidemiology and biomedical ethics and biostatistics, which, how is that related to my work? Well, it is because all of those things that you do in your education, you apply it to your work. I've played countless doctors on different shows, and I have a medical background, so I was able to use it. I invested in my education. I did that. And the last investment, of course, would be in people. Invest your time in people. Your circle of friends are the people that are important to you. They're the core of who you are. Invest and care about your friends. Associate yourself with other creatives. Associate yourself with other filmmakers, and try to nurture and shepherd along their projects. And that investment that you make in nurturing and shepherding their projects always comes back. I quite honestly, if nothing ever comes back, that's one thing. But I'm telling you, every time I've helped another filmmaker, it always has turned out very well. Early on in 2014, Gregory J. Martin of the Bay asked me to be a producer. And that year we were, a very nice show, but, we really needed help, in every department. And so I said, Gregory, I agree to the role of producer. And so I produced in 2014, 2015, and 2016. And those were the first years in which we received our Emmys. And I
Oh,
was so
bravo!
Thank you. No, and I was so honored to play, of course, Father Leone, but then to garner those Emmy awards because uh, Christos Andrews and Gregory Martin and the early individuals who were there at the start of the Bay, they really believed in this content and they were pioneers in new media. Quite honestly, no one was really doing web or new media content like they were. They were treating it as if it was a show, just like all the other soaps out there. They were treating it like a show, and that's why I think to this day they're so successful with multiple Emmys and multiple nominations.
Not just multiple, we're talking dozens of Emmy Award wins and nominations.
I
I mean, it's incredible. It's one of the most winningest series, I think, of all time.
it, it is hit the Guinness Book of World Record of the most um, for this content winning um, Emmys by the Television Academy of Arts and Sciences than any other series of this content ever. So it's very, very joyous to know this.
Oh, absolutely. And being that we're the Fanvestor report, fans clearly love your projects. We want to know everything that you're up to because when I look at your IMDb profile, there are multiple things in pre production, post production. Do you ever sleep, Vincent?
I do in different time zones, but
Exactly. Exactly.
I do, and I try to sleep on the plane. So basically, when I have to travel from the U.S. To Europe or Europe back to I always try to get that time to sleep. I travel at night at 6 p.m. from the U.S. JFK to Nice, and then I sleep and then wake up in the
Oh, Vincent, are you there? See, this is a real live look behind the scenes. Tech glitches. It doesn't just happen to you on your Zoom meetings, it happens to us when we're recording and doing a live. So hang in there. Vincent's stories are absolutely incredible. I mean, this guy has worked with the best of the best, has been a part of the most award-winning, Emmy award-winning projects of all time. Just got back from Cannes, and he's sharing his personal take on what's happening in Hollywood now today and later on. We're going to see if we can get you back in. But fans, if you have any other questions for Vincent, let us know. Slide into those DMs because we really want to include you in the conversation, right? This is why it's a Fanvestor report. Our producer, Jonny Vegas, has a question for me.
So go to commercial and then we'll.
Okay, so we're going to go to commercial, but really, you're going to stay right here. Hey fans, keep it here. We'll be right back with more Vincent De Paul.
Cause I had no idea. I feel like I did too much. I feel like I did too much. Let's get all y'all. Yeah, I need all y'all. I feel like I did too much. I feel like I did too much. Yeah, let's party y'all. Yeah, I need all y'all.
What's up? It's Amari Stoudemire here, and we're launching Masa with Fanvestor to offer a limited edition, perks, products, and experience to my fans.
I let little shawty come here and take your place. Keep my love, you too excited.
Welcome back. We are here with Vincent De Paul. So I have looked at your IMDb profile, and there are so many in production, post-production, pre-production projects happening. What's happening with you? Fill us in on everything.
Thank you so much. I'll try to make it brief, but a lot of now that we're kind of getting through the pandemic, a lot of things have been greenlit, and so now we're shooting. Now we're resuming, so productions are happening. So very honored for my movie that will be released this October called God's Not Dead, We the People, which is wonderful with starring David Ayer White, with Antonio Sabato Jr., Isaiah Washington of Grey's Anatomy. I play Senator John Murray, and it's wonderful. It's an homage to Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, the great Frank Capra movie. So that's very excited about. Shot in Guthrie, Oklahoma, and Washington, D.C. Then after that, Level in the Rock, shot in Malta, which is a story about these individuals who search for a panacea that saves the world of the pandemic, aka what we are going through right now. So it's a very timely movie. Then after that, a basketball movie called Nothing is Impossible, shooting in Knoxville, Tennessee. That's where I am right now. Came from Cannes to Knoxville. And I'm very honored that this year at the Cannes Film Festival, they announced at the GSF Awards, founder Andre Aquino, we received the prestigious award for Best Short Comedy at Cannes at the GSF Awards for Matty Boy, directed by Shahid Kamal. And yes, if you look at imdb.com, you'll see a lot of projects that are going to be released. Of course, The Welder, directed by David Liz, a thriller that it's a modern day Frankenstein, that I play the modern day Frankenstein doctor who creates him. So excited about that. And lastly, Secret Society, opposite Vivica Fox on Amazon, shot in Miami. I play the lead, Derek Rossi, and very honored for Secret Society, the movie, directed by Jamal Hill. And I think that's everything. And if people want to reach out to me, you can go to Vincent De Paul 12 on Instagram and Vincent De Paul 21 on Twitter.
Oh, thank you so much, Vincent. We are so excited for you, and we will continue to follow along your very incredible journey. Thanks so much for spending your morning with us here on the Fanvestor Report. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much. Bye, everyone. Ciao.
Ciao.
Start it up.
Welcome back to the Fanvestor Report, where we cover the business of celebrity and their dirt. In recent years, real estate has become a financial haven for celebs, professional athletes, movie stars, models, but not all fame leads to fortune. But they all love making a fortune and building long-term wealth in real estate. Celebs are flipping houses just like the fans, maybe with a few extra zeros on the price tag, but buying and selling in the most old-fashioned and highly fashionable way. They all have money, and they all love making a fortune in real estate. That's because they know that real estate investing is one way to potentially build long-term wealth. From buying and selling to starting real estate businesses, Hollywood's hottest are making bank. And while their agents are selling sunset, fans can learn from these deals, and we'll show you some potential real estate outcomes from recent celeb investments so you can flip a house just like Miley Cyrus. Paul Allen, the late Microsoft co-founder and right-hand man to Bill Gates, also had a massive real estate portfolio. In 2018, when Allen passed, he had a net worth of $20.3 billion, and now his properties have been put up for sale. His 90210 property with ties to old Hollywood and tech was recently listed for $55.5 million. The Hilltop estate features ocean views and the downtown skyline. Allen purchased this Spanish-style gem in 1997 for just over $9.6 million, making his estate profit of more than $45 million. Several of Allen's other properties are also on the market, including the Enchanted Forest, a 121-acre piece of paradise on rare, undeveloped land in Beverly Hills. Its price tag is $95 million. So fans, who wants to start a clubhouse in the Enchanted Forest? I'm in. Former Miami Heat champion Dwayne Wade just cashed in. His Miami waterfront property just sold for $22 million. Fans, let me stress, even celebs don't always get what they ask for. This deal is far shy from the original asking price of $32.5 million. That said, it's still more than double the $10.645 million he paid for the property in 2010. Now let's talk butterfly effect. While Travis Scott is no longer a resident of Hidden Hills, which he referenced in his song, this reigning rapper and sneaker tycoon is relocated to the hills of Brentwood. With neighbors like LeBron, his welcome to the West Side came with a price tag of $25.5 million. But let's not get too cozy. The rapper needed a little extra space, so he also purchased the property right next door for an extra $5.8 million. One of my favorite things about LA real estate is the incredible history of each of these properties. The previous owners, Edwin and Sherry Silver, were widely known as sophisticated collectors of fine African and tribal art. The couple's art was recently featured in the Sotheby's auction house, which sold the most expensive NFT last week. So, maybe there is something in that West Side water. Fans, thank you for your continued investment of your time and heart with us at Fanvestor. Please don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. Special thanks to our guest Vincent De Paul today, and always remember to invest with heart. We'll see you next week.
We're all fans of something, or someone. Investing our time and loyalty, but getting little in return. Well, it's about to change forever. With Fanvestor, a platform that lets you get in on celebrity businesses early on, buy shares of their new startups, support a charity and new product drops, and share once-in-a-lifetime experiences with them.
What's up? It's Amari Stoudemire here, and we're launching Masa with Fanvestor to offer a limited edition, perks, products, and experience to my fans.
Here's how it works. Go to fanvestor.com. Choose an opportunity you want to get in on. Click here and there, and you're done. Go check your email for the investor's certificate. And don't forget to check back often for updates on your new business investment. It's official now. Celebrate your support with an experience. Go 10 rounds in the gym with Amare. Get a matching tattoo with Super Dope Q. Or get on FaceTime and hang out by the pool with DJ Khaled. After all, you're more than a fan now. You're a Fanvestor.